Welcome to Opinionated Facts. I am 1/3 of your Opinionated Facts host. I am Red, known as B Rude, as Coach Rudy, a couple names that I like to give myself other than the Republican of Sports Talk Radio, whatever my co-host gives you, B-Way. He is still under the weather. We came to you last week.
He a little more under the weather.
B-Way was under the weather, and he didn't want to play in the flu game like Mike. He said he didn't have it. So he's sitting out today. But we have special guest in the building, honorary host. He's actually so if I'm 1/3 and then Brandon weighs 2/3 and Jack is 3/3 of the group, he's that little tiny bit left over, that 0.1% host. He filled in. It's been a while since he filled in, man. It's been a while since you've been gone. You haven't been back for a while. We've asked him to come back a few times, and he's been busy. He's been working. He's been doing this. He's been doing that. But he's back today, so he's filling in, and it's just him and I, also better known as my big little brother, because we're actually brothers. We're real brothers. That's Mr. Samar S. Rude.
What's up? He's downplaying my. I'm like the fourth member of the Heatles. So they LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh, but I'm Ray Allen. I come through in the clutch.
I mean, Ray is still Ray, still Hall of Famer.
But he's still fourth.
Is he Hall of Famer?
Yeah, Ray's in. Come on, let's stop.
Well, we come to you today with sad news. We wanted to bring a little extra energy because we've all been focused on the sad news and the extremely early passing of one of the GOATs. Some people say the GOAT.
Nobody says that.
Some people say the GOAT.
Nobody
I don't
says
think he's
that.
ever got enough. I don't think he's ever got enough respect in that category, especially for me. But the Kobe Bryant passing is set the sports world ablaze, basically, and it's just all you're seeing on the news. You're seeing it every channel. We are going to talk about it and touch on it. We're not going to spend the entire time on it just because we do not want to just keep on beating a dead horse here. I mean, that's a bad. I guess that is bad. You said, no. We just don't. We don't want to keep
Can we say
dwelling
top
on
five
it.
dead or alive?
No, I'm not ready for that yet. But that hearing the news yesterday, I was leaving lunch. And my phone kept going off, and I'm just finding out. And TMZ broke the news. And I don't ever really believe anything from TMZ or any other outlets unless I see it from CNN or ESPN. I base everything off of ESPN. If they reported, it's fact.
I didn't believe it until Woj reported it.
Woj's never wrong.
Reported it, I was like, oh man, Kobe dead.
Agent Wojnarowski, he broke the news, and that's when I was like, oh, this is a real thing. I was hoping his wife and none of the kids were on board. I knew, but right away, my first thought was Gianna, because they're always together. So that the first thing was, if no one was on that helicopter, she was. It's only you almost knew she had to be. They're always together. Anytime they go somewhere, they're traveling together.
And the initial reports were saying all four kids were on there.
Yeah, I didn't believe none of that. I didn't believe anything until I found I felt like, okay, Gianna's probably on there. Other than that, I didn't feel a way about anything. I was just, we'll wait till the news comes out. But hearing the news of her passing, and not only just her, but her friends, she had other girls that were her age on there as well.
Her teammates' parents.
Yes, and that was probably the more difficult part for myself, just because I have children that are younger than her. Brent, my son is 11, my other son is 7. And we both got kids that are coming up, and we want to, regardless of what happens to us, regardless if you're around or not, you don't ever want anything to happen to them.
I thought the Kobe thing was tragic, but the news that hit me was Gianna. My daughter's 8. I just thought about going down. What are you going to tell your daughter? And in those last moments when...
Yeah, because we always think, in the helicopter or plane, you have time to think about what's about to go.
That's what makes it the worst part about it.
Yeah, so you're in your mind, you're like, what do? You have your kid, tell them it's going to be all right before, you hit that ground. You're hoping, but it's, as an adult, as he's 41 years old, he probably knew it was a good chance that this may not end well. But she wasn't, she was probably just scared or whatever. We don't want to speculate. But it is a very difficult time, and we just want to send our thoughts and prayers out to the Bryant family.
as well as the other families.
And well as the other family. I know we're getting away from the other people just because Kobe was such a figure in our lives, especially. You know, we grew up on basketball and Jordan and LeBron and watching Kobe, and we grew up on this stuff. We're throwing paper in the trash can in high school, screaming Kobe.
Kobe.
You know, I heard my boss walk in the office today and do it. So it's like we've been doing that stuff for years. So it hits home for a lot of people. One of my friends said last night, you know, he felt like he lost a family member. Like he said, "Yo, this messed me up so bad. Like I feel like I lost a family member, and I've never even met the guy." So again, thoughts and prayers with everyone involved, and hopefully they have better days coming. You want to talk about anything that had to do with Kobe, or maybe a favorite story, a favorite time? I mean, I had the pleasure of seeing him play live. I actually took our sister Sheree to the Sixer game once. I remember the first. It's funny, like now, because the first I'd say the first minute of the game, Kobe went down with ankle injury. So here we are, got these great seats. We're like 15 row off the court. Great seat. She's like, right away, it happens. He stays down on the ground. She's like, Kobe, no. And the whole arena's quiet. First of all, the entire arena's quiet. Like, you know, so we're all sitting there waiting for he's going to get up. Me personally, I wasn't a big Kobe fan, so I didn't even care. I was just sitting there like, okay, whatever. I was just there for her. She's like, Kobe, no. Kobe, please don't do this to me. I came all the way here, Kobe. Please don't do this to me. It's not. And then, but later on in the game, he actually came back and played. So that's just a funny story I had from watching him play. Though I've seen him play a few times, but that was my most memorable one, just because my sister was upset about what just transpired, and he was actually fine. Came back to the game a couple minutes later and was fine.
Yeah, I wasn't never really a Kobe fan. I mean, I thought, especially late in his career, it was hard to win with him. Made a lot of excuses. But the last game, that's one of my best memories of Kobe, because I was out. I was at a bar, a club, and it was something if you saw it in the movie, you wouldn't believe it. The 61. But it was because the game was close and they were down. And every shot down the stretch mattered. Take away, he shot 51 shots that game, but
come on, man.
At the end of the game, he was clutch.
What people don't understand though, with you are a Jordan fan.
That had nothing to do with Kobe though.
It has everything to do with Kobe. Just like me, that's like me saying the reason why I wasn't a Kobe Bryant fan necessarily is because I was a big LeBron supporter. Because it's always that debate. It's always the Jordan, Kobe, LeBron debate.
I don't think nobody debates Jordan versus Kobe. Nobody ever said Kobe.
That's because they forgot. Like Allen Iverson said, man, they must have forgot. Like you're right.
Nobody ever debated that. Kobe, wasn't really a Kobe fan because I wasn't a fan of always deflecting on other people. When you're the leader, you're trying to say, "Oh, I ain't got enough talent around me. It's my teammates." When you're a volume shooter, and he was shooting a low volume late in his career. I mean, those 8 for 26 games when they were losing. I didn't like that. I can like players that are rival. I'm a Kawhi fan. He plays both sides of the ball. Jimmy Butler, they play both sides. Those kind of players are the kind of players I usually gravitate
towards. Yeah, but I feel like anyone that's compared to that. And the thing with Kobe was, people don't compare him and Jordan. I feel like it's because Kobe Bryant, a lot of people think he's a movie we already seen. Because he was the closest thing, like he emulated Jordan. Like a lot of the moves we've seen, everything he did, we've seen Jordan do it. So the comparison never came from like Michael Jordan, Bryant. It was always Jordan, James, because we really didn't see someone that good that could do what James did. Like you had the Elgin Baylors and the what's Robinson guy's first name. What the heck is his name? Forgetting right now.
Robinson.
Average triple double. Before Westbrook, obviously. I don't know why I'm having a blank here.
It wasn't Robinson.
Oscar Robertson. Oscar Robertson. He was like the closest thing people say to seeing LeBron. He just took it to another level, LeBron. And because we don't feel like we're watching Jordan all over again.
Robinson played point guard.
LeBron played point guard.
LeBron was like a scoring Magic Johnson.
It was better. And we haven't seen this before. People are saying we haven't seen this before. We've seen, like, people say, oh, everything Kobe does, it's Michael Jordan. But the biggest difference I see with the Kobe Michael comparison, Kobe's more reachable now. Now he retired. Like Jordan still lives in a bubble. Like you don't ever hear a word from Jordan. You might see him smoking a cigar. You might see him sitting on the bench from time to time. The team he owns.
Because you're proving the point. Because Michael Jordan can't be reachable. When Michael Jordan goes somewhere, he shuts it down.
That's not no.
Jordan can't go to his daughter's game. He shut it down.
First of all, if LeBron can go to his son's game, anyone can go anywhere. Jordan can go anywhere he wants. He's been to his son's game in that little JUCO they played at.
Don't disrespect his little Marcus.
I'm not disrespecting. I'm just saying they definitely Kobe Bryant. You see the pictures. This guy got a picture with everybody now. Like the reason why I was
social media area changes it. Social media era.
I was telling somebody this yesterday. Kobe being in that accident and tragically dying is a bigger story than if it happened to Michael Jordan now.
Only because of his age and how sudden it was.
If it was the same thing, say Michael Jordan was in that helicopter, he's still the age he is, whatever he is, 52 or whatever, how old he is. If it's him in that helicopter, it's still a huge story. It's still a sad thing, but I don't think games are being canceled or even talked about being canceled. I think, yes, it's a big
story. Well, they ain't cancel no games. They just canceled the Laker Clipper game.
Well, they wouldn't cancel the Chicago Bulls game.
Bulls are playing right now.
I'm saying they wouldn't cancel it if it was Mike in that helicopter yesterday. Kobe, it's a bigger story because he was
the players are right down. He played with Kobe.
He was way more involved than Michael had ever been. Michael,
I don't think so.
My co-host is over here knocking over things on our bar that we're currently sitting at.
Kobe played with a lot of players that are still in the NBA. Jordan's removed from that.
Way far removed, not only from the league though. Jordan owns his own team. Yeah. He ain't that far removed. He's part of the league.
Yeah, but he don't have the same connection that Kobe had with some of these current players and the mentorship.
Kobe's connection is what it is because he made it that way.
It'd be bigger. I think
it would not be bigger. This is the hugest thing that could have happened. Besides, it's the hugest thing that could happen.
I think it's the most tragic for a legendary sports player to die that suddenly at that age. I can't think of anything comparable. You think about Roberto Clemente, but he wasn't a legendary player like Kobe, died in the plane crash. But there's never been legendary status type players that died just so suddenly before their time. In the way they went down, a helicopter crash.
You hear some of the stories, man. Some of the stories are phenomenal. Some of the stories are funny. Some of the stories are sad. I know I watched T-Mac interview today, and him and Kobe were pretty good friends, and they always watched their daughters and coach together. And he told a story about something Kobe said, which was crazy to me, but how he talked about how Kobe said always said he wanted to be legendary and die young. That's probably young Kobe saying stuff like that.
People say that before they have kids.
Yeah, pre-marriage and before he had kids. Of course, he wanted to be around for his children.
Once you have kids, your whole goal in life is to see them until they're of age.
And there's just so many weird things. There's so many weird things going on out there. Like you're seeing the plane crash cartoon thing that came out 8 years ago. Someone replayed that and retweeted it. And social media is so terrible when it comes to things like this because everyone's so insensitive. Like everybody wants to get that reaction, that like, and when you say terrible things,
that retweet,
that retweet or that world star put this up, is this person tripping, and he's tagged on it, and now he gets 10,000 more followers, and he already had 200, whatever. It's always someone's always searching, but it's a tragic thing, and there's no reason why anyone should be making light out of it. Like I said, I'd be lying if I sat here and said I was a fan, because I wasn't necessarily a fan. I respected his talent. I respected his talent. I respected his work ethic because he worked harder than anyone I've ever seen. But the reason why I didn't like him as a basketball player because he was so good.
I respected. He was one of the most clutch players I ever seen. So I give him that. But I didn't feel like he always made players around him better.
He didn't have to really though. He made himself better.
There were some dark days in L.A. when he was there.
Yes, there was some dark. There was also some dark days in Chicago. There was some dark days in Cleveland.
There were never no dark days when Jordan was there.
Jordan didn't win the chip his first year in the league. There was some dark days in there.
They were still playoff teams, but that was before Jordan.
What about the 3 years that Jordan was there?
Kobe was Kobe, and they were losing. Once Jordan started winning, he never stopped winning
until he decided to play baseball.
No, he came back.
But we'll get back to that.
Rings.
Yo, we gotta pay some bills quick. We gotta get off. We have to go shoot the commercial. You are watching us live. Watching us live. We are on Sports Talk channel. Please tune in. We'll be right back. We are back on Sports Talk channel. You are listening to us on Sports Talk channel. We have 1/3 of the Opinionated Facts boys in the building. We have that 0.1. That 0.1% S. Rude. Is it S. Rude? Samar. What is it?
Whatever the people want to call me.
The people don't even know you.
Oh, they gonna know. They gonna learn today. S. fine, man.
S. fine. So I'm your host today. I'm Red, and we were just talking before we went on break about MJ, and he's such an advocate for MJ. I personally never liked Michael. I mean, I have a bunch of his shoes.
Everybody likes Mike.
Michael Jordan's name brand is way bigger than he is right now.
No.
And that wasn't the case with Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, like I said, he was available. Anyone could reach out to him. He had a relationship with a bunch of people.
He just retired 3 years ago.
2016. 2020. It's a little over 3 years now.
I think he was 38 when he retired.
But he's still reachable. Is my point. People he's an advocate for girls basketball, and he's well known in that world. He's done a lot for current players in the NBA, former players in the NBA.
He mentors some players, but I'm not gonna be prisoner of the moment. Kobe's Kobe. He's legendary. He's top 5. You can't argue none of that.
We're talking about outside of basketball.
Yeah.
Is his legacy?
He was hitting his own. He was getting into a second career. He was doing it well. He won the Oscar. He changed his perception because Kobe was always known as an asshole. No, there's no way around it. Kobe was an asshole, man.
I think the Mamba mentality had a way of it.
Yeah, and now in his second career as being a father, a filmmaker, he was getting a new personality. He was being accepted for something different than he was as a basketball player. I
think the legacy of him outside of basketball was on his way to being greater.
It was. They were saying that he was on to a second career was going to be as great as any other of the famous athletes on his second career.
And his pride and joy, Gigi, man, she was well on her way to potentially being a star. I mean, she's next. I seen the hashtag today. It said Mambacita. I thought that was pretty creative. Like she was about to be. People think she was it. Like he even thought.
That's the hardest part of the story. Every time I think about it, is that's what bothered me yesterday was Gianna.
That was the toughest part.
It's not because she was going to be a good ball player, but just somebody's daughter. She has sisters that their lives are forever changed.
Everybody's lives. L.A. When I'm going, I'll be in L.A. actually here in the next 3 weeks. We're actually going to a Lakers game, so I know it's going to be a different time. I mean, there won't be Hill in 3 weeks. It's not something that's going to be done and over with. So I know by the time I get out there, it'll still be something that's ongoing. And, we pray for the people of L.A. We pray for the Lakers organization. My brother don't really pray at all, but I'm praying.
Whoa. Don't put that on wax.
I'm praying for you guys.
I pray every day.
Nah, he prays for Jordan. Like I said, Jordan brand is way bigger than Jordan's name.
You can't put that kind of stuff out there.
I can, and I will. I wanted to ask you a question because I feel like when I go through something, at my job, I'll get something like a family member passes away, God forbid, or anything like that. You get time off. You get 5 days, whatever it is, in a funeral day or whatever it may be at any company that you work for. The Lakers canceled Tuesday's game. Now they're playing the Clippers, so it would have been an all LA type theme. Do you agree with them canceling the game?
I don't think they should have canceled it because it's a good scenario. It's for the sad situation it is for the Lakers. Two LA teams are playing each other. But the people that had connections to them, we can't relate to. You got to think about if somebody close to you die or one of your best friends die. It would be tough to go to work. But sports has always been the place you go to get away from those problems. I feel like the players would have probably been the only time they didn't think about it in the last 24 hours if they would have stepped on that court and played basketball. But I'm not going to speak for people going through tragedy that I can't relate to. The Lakers, it seemed like the Lakers didn't want to play. They were negotiating for hours, supposedly, and the Clippers honored the Lakers' wishes to cancel the game. So the NBA wanted to play, Clippers wanted to play. It seemed like the Lakers didn't want to play, which is understandable. They're the closest ones to Kobe, so it makes sense.
I mean, everyone in that building,
but Kobe played for the Lakers. He was around the I don't call it program for professional, but he was around the team a lot. He still goes to practices, still goes to games. Recently retired, still best friends with some of the people in the administrative. You know, the owners, Jeannie Buss, seen him since he was 18 years old. So there's some deep connections there. So it's more understandable.
But you wouldn't have canceled if it was your call.
As a fan, I don't think it should have canceled. I think it would have been a good time for the players to get away from the thoughts of the tragedy. It would have been a good time for the fans to get away from the thoughts of the tragedy for a little bit, to watch a highly competitive rivalry game. But there's bigger things in life than basketball, so I understand it. I'm not mad at it. I feel like I would have wanted to play. Kobe would have wanted to play.
I'll tell you how shook up some people were about this, and then we can get off of the topic. Like I said, I'm 1/3 of Opinionated Facts, and you're an honorary guest, and you're welcome on the show anytime, at any point. Like I said, Brandon Way, our other co-host, is under the weather. He's feeling under the weather, so he wasn't able to be on today. But our other host, Jack, he said he couldn't talk about it. It was too emotional for him.
He could relate to it, though.
And but at the end of the day, this is our job. Like, we were supposed to come on here and talk about it.
He said he couldn't do it, not because of Kobe, because of how Kobe died.
And it was also, he said, his relationship with death is not what it needs to be. That kind of stuff.
He didn't want to talk about it.
Yes, and he knew it would be a big topic of conversation on the show. And he wasn't a Kobe. He's not a Kobe fan. He was always a Carmelo Anthony fan. And he was an Iverson fan, and a LeBron fan. He was never necessarily a Kobe fan while Kobe played. So for him to take the news the way he did, and he doesn't live in LA, he lives in Pennsylvania, and for him not to necessarily be a fan, and for him to take the news to the point where he just can't talk about it. He can't be on the show and talk about it. I mean, I respect it because everyone handles everything differently.
I think we do have to mention how huge of a fan B-Way is of Kobe since the Lower Merion days.
Yes, B-Way. The reason why our co-host Brandon Way, like I said, feeling under the weather, the death of Kobe is not the reason why he's not here. The reason why he's a Laker fan is because of Kobe.
He followed Kobe when he got drafted.
Kobe when he got drafted.
He was a fan of Kobe. We lived pretty close to where Kobe played high school basketball at, in the suburbs of Philadelphia. So he was a fan since, Kobe took Brandy to the prom. But shame he couldn't be here to talk about that.
Yeah, so he will be back, and I'm sure he'll give his take on it when he gets better. And he really wanted to be here, but he just could not muster up the strength to do so, and that is super fine. Traveling by helicopter. I mean, it's always been a way he traveled. He talked about it in
multiple platforms.
Yeah, he talked about it multiple times about how if I can make it here to there in 15 minutes, why would I jump in the vehicle and take an hour and a half when I could spend getting back here and potentially picking up my daughters from school and spending those 20 minutes in the car with them on the ride because I'm always on the road. It's a great point. I mean, I don't know if they...
There's nothing wrong with flying by helicopter because we had one accident.
You don't expect the
plane was fine. They're just saying it isn't a question of the helicopter or any mechanical issue. It's the question of should they have been flying.
Yeah, should they have been up there? And that's just... I mean, we don't want to have that conversation. I don't know enough about it. But I just bringing it up as far as traveling by helicopter. I don't know if I could ever get used to it. But then again, I don't know if I would ever have the means to do so anyway.
Nah.
So,
speaking of which, before we go off Kobe, though, I just gotta say this out there to everybody out there sending out Kobe's alleged rape allegations on the day he passed away. I thought was sickening. That was the worst part. Besides the news of the daughter passing. Second to me was everybody putting out one of the worst moments of somebody's life. that was over 10 years ago, where he was never charged. I just think it's terrible. What kind of person does that on somebody?
When the news first broke, CNN had on some lady. I'm not going to say her name. I don't. It may be unfair to her, but she mentioned it. She came on. She said what she said about Kobe and how great of a player he was, and then she went on to say like he wasn't perfect, and then she mentioned the rape allegation. That was the first person I heard bring it up as he passed.
I wouldn't think you should mention it, but the people like the lady from the Washington Post that got suspended today, putting that she don't feel sorry for Kobe and putting out there all the articles from Boulder, Colorado when he had the rape allegations from a lady who ended up dropping the charges and taking a civil settlement, and she had 8 different semens.
Well, I'm not talking about that. That's a terrible thing to bring up.
I'm
right
just
now.
saying, but they brought it up for Kobe.
Right. I think it was distasteful for the lady to mention it, and maybe she didn't want to just say all positive things and not mention he did have a downside. He had some did have a slip up in his career, but he went on to do these amazing things. I don't know what her motive was. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you take one moment of somebody's life. We all have skeletons. I don't care who you are. We all done things you're probably not proud of in life. He lives on a different stage than we live on. But to bring up that he was an adulterer and an alleged rapist is just terrible. And they're probably going to do, and people like Ray Lewis die, and I don't know what kind of people think they need to bring up the worst part of somebody's life on the day they pass away. I just don't understand that way of thinking.
How about, and this is, I get as media, we have a certain obligation and we want to be the first to break certain news, even if we're wrong. Like, even if people in the media are wrong about certain news, they want to be the first to break it. So that I think them breaking news is more, that they feel like is more important than it being accurate. So TMZ coming out with the report first and breaking the news, and before any family members even knew about the chopper even going down. I know the police department out in LA had an issue with that.
A lot of people did. They're talking about boycott TMZ. It's an ethical thing. And from a business standpoint, you think about TMZ and breaking news. TMZ got cited all day on every channel. CNN, ESPN, this news is broke by TMZ. That's what you wanted. That's what you're in the business for. That's how you make your revenue. So it's hard to fault them for breaking the news, because if you wait 1 minute, somebody's going to break it online, somebody's going to break it somewhere, and then all of a sudden you're not breaking news anymore. But coming from a ethical standpoint is that you never want to break news of something tragic before the next of kin or family's notified. I'm a firefighter. We've seen people getting tragic things, and the media ask us questions, and we never give them no information, because you don't want family members finding out about tragic news from another source.
I agree. TMZ, they've always been pretty classless, though. I mean, them breaking the news wasn't a shocker to me, like, because they didn't wait for anyone to be notified. They wanted to be the first.
Yeah, that's what you do in the news business, and I'm sure it's a discussion. I don't know if they had a discussion at TMZ, because they're not that kind of news organization, but say CNN finds out, they got to consider that, and there's more liability for them. They have to be right.
Yeah,
TMZ doesn't necessarily have to be right.
They weren't always a legit media outlet either. But now they kind of are big. They're a big deal.
They're
now
on the cusp of being a tabloid, but they actually do break news.
And they get a lot of information.
They get the video nobody gets, like Kareem Hunt, Ray Rice.
They get it
all first.
They do. It's amazing they get this thing till they get their hands on.
Well, the reason they're first is because they don't have that. They don't have that ethical line where it's like, can we do this out there? Can I put Ray Rice hitting his girlfriend out there? Can I put this video out there before it's confirmed that it's real video?
I mean, the thing is, they do break these stories, but then people break the same ones. It's like
only one person can break it. Everybody else is just reporting it. They broke it.
So you think CNN or somebody passes up on big major stories, and like rather than somebody else break that news and they just report on it?
The thing is, you get somebody like ABC, they report that the 4 kids were on the helicopter.
That was terrible.
And then they got to walk that back all day.
Yeah.
And how wrong they were to get called out.
And that's terrible.
And they're a reputable news source. If ABC says it, you're like, oh man, it's a shame. TMZ says it's like, well, let's see if ESPN or ABC says it.
Yeah, because I didn't believe it until I seen it on ESPN.
Yeah,
like I said.
so TMZ has that that leeway where they ain't always got to be right. They don't have the ethical standards that a true journalistic organization has.
All right, we got to take a break, pay some bills. You're listening to us on Sports Talk Channel. Stay tuned. And we are back on Sports Talk Channel. We were running down a lot of the scenes and situations and turmoil and the tragic sudden passing of one of the greats in the NBA history, Kobe Bryant, along with his daughter, along with 7 other people that, do not get overlooked. And I know we haven't talked about them, and it's just because we don't know a whole lot about anyone else.
One of them was legendary baseball coach.
Exactly. I mean, I know that much, but I don't know. I've never heard of him personally. I don't know who he was. I know one of his daughters, I believe, played on the same team with Gigi. But other than that, like I said, we don't know a whole lot about any of the other survivors of, Kobe Bryant is the big story to us just because it's what we know. But it doesn't take this to take away from the other people that were on board of that helicopter. But we do have a huge, huge game coming on this Sunday. I don't know where you guys are going to be partying at. I don't know where we're going to be at. But I know it's Super Bowl Sunday coming. And I know people are excited. And I know we would love to get your take on that. We would love to hear your picks, who you're taking, what you think.
The first thing we got to talk about is many
hold on. Let me stop before you go. So everyone knows he's a Raider fan. And the Kansas City Chiefs do play in his division. So if he's biased, you know why. I just broke it to you. But I want you to say what you want to say.
I'm a referee. I always just call it how I see it.
Okay, let's go with what you want to say.
I was going, my mood is more light than this Kobe Bryant. I couldn't really be myself in the Kobe topic. But Super Bowl's in Miami. Over under how many athletes get arrested for a major scandal. Miami gets you.
I was just recently in Miami, and it was a phenomenal place, but there was way too much going on. If you're an athlete, if you got money, there's a lot of things
something's going to go down for somebody.
You can get in some trouble down there.
Over under's 3.
And not only that, there's a bunch of rappers that live down there.
Yeah.
You add money with athletes, rappers, boats.
Hoes.
I'm not saying any other words than that. I got to be careful what we say.
Are we limited on these airways?
Yes, you are limited on these airways. So you got to be a little more careful what you say.
I heard you got to pay the tax down there, too, to the local gangs. Or they'll snatch your chain.
No, man, that's not true.
So they said.
That's probably certain. That's not like.
They're saying Gucci Mane.
What, he had to pay?
No, who was? They said he got his chain back. They're saying if you don't get clearance.
Nah, that's not true.
You can't be down there flossing.
That's not true. I was down there by myself. I went anywhere I wanted to go.
Nobody know you.
Doesn't matter.
You ain't got to pay no tax.
I ended up I had the watches on, my chain on. I was at the what do they call it? What's the place down there? It's like a sports bar / like a sports bar / like strip club.
Clevelander?
No, it's like called Tootsie's or something.
I don't know.
I forget what it's called. But I was there, went by myself, and I had the time of my life, man. I had any issues. There was a lot of stuff going on in the parking lot, but I just kept moving. And I just, it's a lot of trouble to get into. That's no question about it. I mean, there's a lot of people that have money. There's a lot of boats. There's a lot of expensive things floating around.
Scandalously dressed ladies.
Yeah, so there is some trouble to get into. I'm taking the unders. There's 0. I think zero people get in trouble down there.
No way. First of all, people getting in trouble. This is the ones that come out in the public.
So you talking about like Robert Kraft's trouble?
That too. I'm talking about Shannon Sharp in the Super Bowl for Atlanta trouble.
That's not good. People probably don't know that story though.
Prostitutes at the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, it's the Super Bowl, though.
I know, so I'm saying
it's
somebody's
like a vacation.
You're
supposed to enjoy yourself. Like, you're supposed to go down there. Yeah, you're supposed to take care of business. But for that guy that's the 49th man on the roster, he's probably not going to see the field unless 3 people get hurt.
I'm not saying players that are going to play in the game. I think they're going to be a little smart. I'm talking about athletes that ain't playing in the game.
But they stars, though. Sometimes the stars don't know.
Nah, I don't see guys getting in trouble no more that are going to play in the game. I think we're past that.
I wouldn't say we're past that. I see it.
We're not past it, but I think it's more unlikely.
Like, look at Chase Daniels. Like, he ain't past it. He was still getting in trouble with Ohio State. He was
Chase Young.
Chase Young. He was Biggest star up
You
there.
can't talk about 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds. They're going to do something. They're a little different.
I mean, people are going to do things, period.
While we're on that topic, though, you see Kawhi Leonard in the strip club?
With the hoodie up, he's the first person I ever seen in a New Balance hoodie.
That's how you knew it was him. You're like, it looked like that's Kawhi.
Yeah, this is definitely Kawhi. But he wasn't doing anything. He was just sitting there.
That's what Kawhi does.
It was strange.
Kawhi was doing what you thought Kawhi would do in the strip club.
Just sit there.
Just sit there and then tell a couple ones, say, what it do, baby? What it do?
Kawhi's different. He's a different bird. He's a different breed.
He's a killer, though.
I mean, he is. I mean, what was he? He almost looked uncomfortable. Did he not? Did he look comfortable?
He looked like I thought Kawhi would look in the strip club.
He looks uncomfortable everywhere he goes.
Why's Kawhi's lips always look chapped?
He probably don't carry around no black chapstick.
We're way off topic. Super Bowl pick.
Super Bowl pick, yes.
I'm conflicted. I'm going Mahomes. My homies. But I'm hesitant because every Super Bowl I can think of with a top 5 offense versus a top 5 defense has won. You got Ravens, Giants. Ravens won, but that was one of the greatest defenses of all time. But Raiders, Buccaneers, although they knew our offense, but Tampa Bay beat the Raiders.
No excuses.
The same defense. You see, the defense has historically beat the better offense. The Rams got shut down last year, and they were one of the best offenses last year. With a subpar, but Belichick's defense is always going to be with 2 weeks to plan. So historically, the better D has beat the better O. But I'm going to go with Andy Reid getting his first ring with Mahomes.
Oh, man. Everything, I'm an Eagle fan, and so, I want to ride with Big Red. I would love to ride with Andy. And I've been against the Niners all season. I haven't picked them. I highly doubt I picked them one time this year to win anything. I don't think they're that good, even though they look great at times. That defense looks like one of the best you'll ever see.
But the offense hasn't looked
Garoppolo don't look good at times. So he does enough just to get you your 17 points or 20 points, and that defense doesn't give up 20 points. So, you don't have any worries.
And I do think, though, the Chiefs' D is playing much better, and they stopped the run. And if you stop the 49ers' run, Jimmy's going to have to beat you. Jimmy's gotten it done in the Saints game, put up high 40s. When he's had to do it, he's done it.
But do you trust it in his hands if he has to do it? Do you trust Jimmy?
I like Jimmy. I think Jimmy's a baller. And all he does is win. I think he's like 20-3. 20.
He hasn't lost many games.
He don't lose many games. And people complained about last week, but if you're running the ball, you don't get stopped. You don't stop running the ball. So it had nothing to do with Jimmy. It had something to do with the Packers' run defense.
Well, I'm going to go because I'm probably picking this more with my heart because, like I said, I am an Andy Reid supporter.
If the weather is Miami weather, if you got 70 and sunny, does that change your out?
70 and sunny is better for Mahomes.
So I'm saying, you got Mahomes and 70 and sunny.
Oh, it don't rain much in Miami for 10 seconds maybe. It ain't like an all day
So
thing.
if the weather's ideal, I feel like the Chiefs are going to be tough.
That defense is tough, though, so we'll see. It depends on what happens with the offensive line. If Mahomes gets the time, it ain't going to matter.
And plus, you have Sherman as a good corner, but he don't do well with them speed guys.
Oh, he can't. He ain't guarding Tyreek. He don't switch sides.
I say, but Tyreek, everybody, Markel Hartman, all those guys are fast.
I'm just
Sammy
saying.
Watkins.
Typically, your best corner follows around the best receiver.
Well, he never traveled. He didn't travel to Seattle.
He don't travel. He takes whoever's on his side.
And I don't have a problem with him not traveling. If you're good at what you do, you ain't got to be great somewhere else. Nani Asamoah was a great man corner.
He played terrible he's hated in Philadelphia.
But he was a great man corner. He had long arms. He was tall for a corner. And he put hands on you. And he bump and run you. The Eagles put him in a cover 3 zone. And he looked like an below average cornerback.
Way below average.
Was, at the time, it was always who was better, Revis or Asamoah. He was a straight up man.
Very long.
Now the Eagles overpaid him, and he never looked comfortable with his back
he stole
pedal.
a lot of money from the people of Philadelphia.
He liked the bump. No, he didn't steal no money. He
stole money.
No.
He stole money. He definitely stole money.
No, when you make billions as owners, the players are allowed to make millions. I don't care how they perform.
Well, it ain't.
He got paid for past practice. It ain't Nandi's fault that the coaches for the Eagles put him in something he didn't do his whole career.
He was terrible. If you're a corner, you're a corner. It don't matter
That's
if you play
not
a
true.
zone. It don't matter if you play a zone defense. If a guy's on your side and you guard him,
Yeah, but you could be real average when you got a backpedal instead of bumping somebody and running stride for stride with them.
even when he went to man-to-man, he was still terrible.
Man, Nandi was a lockdown, man. He shut the whole side of the field down when he was in
I
Oakland.
think that he just had people bamboozled in the West Coast.
Nah.
They don't get
I
enough.
watched Nandi
They
every
don't get
week.
enough sleep out
Nandi
there.
got right
That
up
was
in
the
your grill. He
problem.
put them long arms on you. It was a 6'1" corner. You don't see that very often. And he bumped
Anyway,
the
we're
runs
off topic. Super Bowl pick. Kansas City, Kansas City. You right? You're going with Kansas City. I'm going with
gonna go
Kansas
with the
City.
Chiefs.
No love for the 49ers.
No.
Me either.
And I'm a Raider fan. I don't like the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that.
I'm never biased. I just call a spade a spade.
We have more NFL news.
And I hate the Eagles, and I want to see Randy get it. I think Andy Reid is a Hall of Fame coach, but people try to keep him out because he ain't got the ring. I think he's a Hall of Fame coach today, but he's definitely in if he gets the ring this weekend.
Is he a Hall of Fame coach?
4 straight NFC championships with the Eagles. That's like saying Mark Levy's not a Super Bowl Hall of Fame coach with Buffalo because he never won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
And now all those guys are in the Hall of Fame.
yeah. I mean, Super Bowl, 4 straight Super Bowls is way different than 4 straight NFC titles, NFC championship appearances.
It is. I don't disagree with that, but I think Andy deserves to be in the Pro Bowl right now. But this will stamp him.
I don't. I mean, it's debatable. It's like that Carmelo Anthony.
It's only debatable because he ain't got the ring. He gets the ring, there's no debate.
Yeah, I think if he gets the ring, we can say about that. A lot of people though.
I know, but
You
I
can
think
say that about Charles Barkley. You can say
Andy
that about.
Reid is no good. Charles Barkley's a Hall
What
of
about
Fame.
McNabb? Did he get in?
I don't think McNabb gets in. If
Why?
he had the ring, though.
You see what I'm saying? There should be glued.
I think, but Andy Reid has the Hall of Fame career already. So
Why? Because he's been in the league a little bit longer after McNabb.
he's always won. He's won everywhere he went. He won with the Eagles nobody in the NFC East has won back to back since then. Since he ran the 4 straight, I don't think.
Eagles won it last year, I thought, and they won it again this year for the first time. No,
Last year the Cowboys won it.
did they? I don't even remember.
Remember the Cowboys? Then they ended up getting upset.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We want to know that. Anyway, well, we're both going AFC, Kansas City, Andy Reid, Mahomes, Super Bowl picks. So I guess no argument there. There is more football news, though. Phillip Rivers being done in L.A.
According to Jay Glazer, before the show started, he already moved to Florida. That's how he's done. He's going to be a free agent this offseason.
Good place for him to land.
Not with 9 kids. What is
No,
Florida's tax? Well, he's going to save a lot of money going with them 9 chillings. Because California taxes is high as hell. And now he's going to a no state income tax.
What I'm saying is, if him moving to Florida, I'm thinking Miami. My thought process is he signs with Miami. I don't know that. I don't know Miami's goals or
I think it would be a good move for Miami, especially if they draft 2 and he's not fully healthy, to get a stopgap quarterback like Smith did for Mahomes. But if you're Phillip Rivers at the end of your career with no Super Bowl ring, why would you go there?
It don't make sense for him, no. I
don't think he's
But
going to Miami.
is he going to a contender? Like, who's going to? If you're a contender, you don't need a quarterback.
Well, there's some contenders that could use quarterbacks. The Titans are one.
Tannehill's going back.
I think Tannehill will. Who would you rather have?
Tannehill,
No.
the way he played in that offense,
He look good in the playoffs.
the way Tannehill played this year, or Phillip Rivers, I'd rather keep the guy that's already been there.
Yeah, but it's a small sample size. We know Tannehill is a decent quarterback, but he reminds me of Foles. Like if I was Jacksonville, I never would have gave Foles $20 million because Foles wasn't good, but he had a nice little run. But all the tape says he's not good. So I'm not.
He's only been one other place, but that was with St. Louis.
Now he played for the Chiefs. He wasn't good. He played for the Rams. He wasn't good. Then he went back to Philly, and he was terrible to a 2-game playoff run. He came back.
He was a stud.
Had a hell of a run.
He was a stud.
So
And then did it again the following year.
No. He started the season, and y'all was begging for Wentz to come back. He was terrible. They told Wentz to come back early from the injury, and they benched him. Wentz got hurt, and then Foles had another good playoff run. Fitzpatrick does the same thing, but he's not going to get you to the promised land for a whole season. And Foles looked terrible this year in Jacksonville. He got benched with an $80 million contract.
He got benched. He wasn't fully healthy. He should have never came back.
Nah, it was a collarbone. He was ready to go.
No, you're never really ready to go. You don't recover from those broken bones.
Well, he is who I thought he was.
Well, we're gonna see. I think Tannehill will do well in Tennessee if he stays. I don't think Phillip Rivers should be part of the plan there. I think Phillip Rivers.
What about Jacksonville? If you think you got the defense you got 2 years ago, and your only missing link is a quarterback with like DJ Clark.
Nah, your missing link is not just a quarterback.
If you feel your defense is still that good, the team that should have beat New England 2 years ago, which I thought they got robbed in that game, then you definitely, if you still feel that way, you think Rivers takes you over the top.
No, I don't. Rivers had a good team in L.A. and they couldn't win.
They were 11 or 12 win team 2 years ago. They had a bad year this year, and the running back held out, Melvin Gordon.
He held out, but he didn't make a difference when he came back.
Yeah, when you sit he wasn't built like that.
And
last year, he was
man.
a monster.
We have Phillip Rivers is throwing picks in the end zone at the end of the game.
They said Tampa Bay wants him.
You got to be smart. Come on.
That's a playoff team. They're a playoff team if you take 15 picks away from Jameis, and you still would have 15.
Where does Jameis end up then? Let's say, all right, let's draw out the scenario. Phillip Rivers goes to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay obviously is not going to have Jameis Winston back. Where does Jameis Winston land?
I'd take Jameis in Oakland.
In Oakland?
I would take Jameis with Gruden.
Over Carr?
It would be tough because of the contracts. I don't think you could do it. But Jameis is a talented quarterback.
I don't know. I'm shocked to even hear you say that.
That's what I'm saying. But I don't think the Raiders need to make us. You're going to Vegas. You got to go there and score points. Carr won't take the shot no more. Since he got that broken leg when he's an MVP candidate, he has not been the same quarterback. And I haven't missed a Raiders game since 2007. I've only missed one in over 20 years. And Carr won't take the shot. You see the film, guys are running wide open. He's Mr. Dink and Dunk.
Wow. Winston to Oakland.
And I might even say I want it. I just feel like I know Gruden would want a gunslinger. Gruden wants a gunslinger.
So, Rivers to Tampa Bay.
I don't think he goes to Tampa Bay, though.
That's down in Florida.
Well, he's in Florida.
He's in Florida already.
He was in Florida for a reason. He must have heard something.
Yeah, there's 3 teams in Florida. Like,
I don't think Dolphins are it, though. Unless he's playing for money. When you have 9 kids, you do play for money.
He don't need the money. He's rich.
When you have 9.
And he lives a different lifestyle.
He does live below his means.
Like, he's probably got all kinds of money stacked up.
Bolo ties don't cost that much.
Yeah, he don't have any boats, and he's not out there in boats, and he ain't buying boats and Bentleys.
He's a competitor, though. He probably wants to play still.
Oh, he definitely said he wants to play.
Plus, who wants to be home with 9 kids? Nobody want to be home with 9 kids. I don't care who you are.
If they're my children, I would love to be home.
No, you
with
would
9
not.
kids.
You would try to get away. You would have dad watching them.
No, I love the kids, man.
Not 9.
I don't.
Everybody loves their kids.
I would never have 9 kids.
All right, so
I won't even have 4.
Whatever you make right now, and somebody said, "I'll give you an extra $25,000 a year to be a stay-at-home dad," if it said to go to work, what would you do?
I might take the 25.
Take your ass to work.
I might take the 25.
No, you wouldn't. Nobody wants to be a stay-at-home dad.
I might take the 25.
I have never been more tired than I was home with my daughter by herself, and she couldn't even walk. Dora raised my daughter.
No, when they can't walk, it's worse. When they're like my son's age is 11. Brandon's 11.
Now they're self-sufficient.
He get to make his own bowl of cereal in the morning.
No, imagine with being at home with infants.
Look, I ain't trying to hear it. Man. Look, we got some more stuff to get to quick. The Kansas fight, Jayhawks against Kansas State.
They over-penalized them. Too many games.
The Sosa got 12 game suspension.
Too many games.
He picked up a chair to hit somebody.
He didn't hit nobody. I think the Minority Report.
Because someone grabbed it out of his hand.
Nah, he was never going to hit nobody.
Hold on. Okay. If say he's attacking you. Say he's about to attack you. So you're looking at him.
This is valid.
No, listen. You're looking at him. You see him. You're like, oh, he's not with that chair. He picks it up. He puts it behind his head. And he puts it behind his head. So you already know when someone puts something behind their head, they're looking to swing it.
It's a deterrent.
He didn't just pick it up. He didn't have it up. He didn't have it in his hand.
A lot of people carry guns, but they don't want to shoot nobody.
But do they pull it out?
A lot of people pull, but don't shoot.
My point is, when you do that, you don't know what's going to happen.
You don't. It's a deterrent.
My point was, a lot of times when you pull out a gun, someone's not there to knock the gun out of your hand. Someone was there to knock the chair out of your hand.
Nobody knocked that chair. He tapped the back of it, and he just dropped it.
No, that person grabbed the back of the chair and pulled it from him. Or someone was getting their head clonked. The 12 games is a lot of games, yes, for something that he didn't do.
That's what all I'm saying. I'm not saying he didn't deserve to be suspended.
But it wasn't about what he didn't do. It was about what he was going to do.
You don't know
if he got the chance.
I'm not in the assuming business.
Look, I'm not assuming.
It's got to be beyond a reasonable doubt.
Facts tell you, if you pick up a chair, cock it back, then you're looking to your intent is to hurt someone, but maybe you didn't get the chance to.
When Bobby Knight threw that chair, he didn't pick it up and walk 4 steps and think about it. He threw that damn chair in the court. He had that chair. He walked like 3 steps. He didn't really cock it back. He had it over his head, and then he dropped it straight down over his head. Nobody pulled it out of his hand.
He didn't drop it. It was pulled from him.
It was barely tapped.
It was pulled from him.
I'm saying 12 games is too long.
12 games is too long.
Some people were saying she should suspend it for indefinitely for the rest of the season.
That was some NBA player saying that. A former NBA guy saying that.
And that was hockey. You would have got 5 minutes in the penalty box.
Yeah, but they want you to fight hockey. They need the ratings.
That's terrible, man. I don't understand.
They need the ratings.
It's 2 different ways of justice, depending what sport you play and what race you are, it seems like.
Like I said, look, he was going to hit someone with that chair.
These guys, they have these big football fights.
They save lives.
Before games, big college games, and nobody even misses a quarter.
The guy pulled the chair out of his hand, he saved lives that day.
No.
Whenever he said that on A Few Good Men, what did he say on A Few Good Men? I saved lives.
Look, those courtside chairs have a lot of padding. Nobody even would have been hurt.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if we weren't hurt or not. It was his intent behind it all.
I don't know his intent.
It was his intent. We wanted to get to the Maya Moore story, but we might have to handle that next week. We are starting to run out of time a little bit.
Real quick on Maya Moore. Only a female. Well, I don't want to get nobody in trouble.
It's a female, for her who don't know Maya Moore. Maya Moore is a former WNBA player. She has not retired, but she is missing her second consecutive season due to
social injustice, but mainly for a guy that's been locked up since he was 16 for a murder that the evidence does seem like he didn't do it. He's 39 now. He's been in jail a long time. He got 50 years. But you're going to give up your career and your prime for... It's not. Nobody even knows that she's doing it for that reason. They thought Maya Moore had a year out because she was just done.
Yeah, now we figured out this is why she's doing it. But we're going to touch on it more next week because we are running out of time. We should have got to it a little earlier, but we had to talk about the Kobe situation.
But no star male athlete would do that.
No, but we're selfish. Men are selfish.
That's true.
That's why.
Maybe she needs.
She's not selfish. Anyway, we are here on Sports Talk Channel. We are glad to be with you. Our thoughts and prayers were mine or with the Kobe Bryant family and anyone that knows him and the fans in L.A. I appreciate you being here, Mr. S. Rude.
Mr. Ray Allen in the clutch.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming because we were down. I was just going to do a whole hour myself, but luckily that didn't have to happen. So we will see you guys or talk to you guys next week. Hope you enjoyed the show. Peace.